Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. It's that time of the week once again when the weekly challenges go ahead and refresh. Now it seems like Polyphony are sticking to mixing it up with another brand new special event this week in the form of the Plymouth Superbird with some classic stock car racing over at Daytona road course. So it does seem that slowly but steadily these weekly challenges are improving pretty much all the time and becoming more diverse. So let's head over and have a look at an overview for all of the events that are on offer this week. For event number 1 we have the European Sunday Cup 500 over at Sardegna Road Track B. Then we have the Japanese Clubman Cup 550, which is a 1.43 event, one of the newer events to the game over at Laguna Seca. Then we have the new special event, the first time we've ever seen this. This is the Plymouth Superbird 1 Make, which is a limited time online event. Then we have Race of the Turbo Sports Cars over at Suzuka. And then to finish off we have my favourite events in the entire game, the Neo Classic competition over at Fuji International Speedway. In terms of the prizes that are on offer this week, it's 100,000, 200,000 and 500,000 credit tickets. So in total you're going to be earning way over 1 million credits for completion of all 5 events and collecting all 3 of the rewards. So I'd say in terms of the events that are on offer overall and the rewards themselves, it's really not too bad this week. Like I mentioned, it does seem that Polyphony are making an active effort to actually, I guess, change it up each and every week, with last week being the Audi TT focused one, which saw all 3 generations racing on track, and this week being a completely brand new one make in the form of some classic stock car racing. So it is nice to see that change going on in the background when it comes to the weekly challenges, considering they got very stale before the refresh, considering that all the special events were basically rinse and repeat, featuring the likes of the Tesla and such. Event number 1 then, it's going to be the European Sunday Cup 500 at Sardegna Road Track B. For this one we're going to get the credits for completion as well as the 1 event completed credit ticket, which is 100,000 credits. So not too bad for an event that is 2 laps in total and around about 2 to 3 minutes to complete. Now in terms of the car here, I use the Alfa Romeo 8C. This is a car that I've just never used in game for some reason. It's been sat at the bottom of my list for the longest time. Overall this is a very easy and very straightforward event. As long as you've got a car around the PP limit, you should have 0 problems at all. Because of the short length, there's no tyre wear to take into consideration and obviously no fuel usage. So just get a car that's good for the sprint and just get on with it. If you really want to massively cheese this event, you can basically run any single car as long as it falls in the European category of car. The PP limit that it does mention is just a recommendation, it's not actually set in stone, so you can go way above that if you really want to. However, for me it just kind of takes away any single form of competition, so yeah, not really my style of doing things. So I just started messing around on the second lap as I was still finding this way too easy, just doing a bit of drifting in the Alpha before coming up and across the line to get event number 1 completed in just over 3 minutes total. So 3 minutes, we're going to get the standard credits for the event and 100,000 credits on top of that, so not too bad at all. In terms of the clean race bonus credits for this one, it is going to be 15,000 credits and it's going to add 5.1 miles onto your driving marathon, as well as obviously the 100k credit reward for the completion of the first event of the weekly challenges. Event number 2 is going to be the final of the 1.43 events to be featured in the weekly challenges. This is the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 over at Raceway Laguna Seca. As previous with the European Sunday Cup, the 550 is just a recommendation, it is not completely set in stone. So if you do want to, you can go way above that PP limit if you do so wish. Now I'm going to use an NSX, which is sitting at around about 560 or so in terms of the PP calculator. So overall it's not going to be overpowered, it's going to give me at least a bit of decent competition, considering there is some cars in this I guess overall race that do feature the likes of 4-wheel drive and such. So I know they're going to have me out of the corners, but then the top end and overall the better handling of the NSX should come into play. So in terms of the event itself, the AI here is very, very spread out. You'll notice that they're pretty much in their own little groups, and then as you get further towards the front, they're even further apart. You may see a couple of cars battling, but again, as you get onto those final laps, they will begin to spread out even more. So the faster you get the overtaking done, the, I guess, more grouped up they're going to be, and the less chances that you're going to have to chase down a car on the final lap like I did here. So I clipped the sausage curb, got it a little bit wrong into that corner, and then it was just waiting for the top end to kick in on the NSX, and that's going to give me the lead over the Evo 9. We're then going to go up and across the line after 3 laps to get this one done nice and easy. Again, because of the sprint format, there is no fuel or tyre wear to take into consideration. With the clean race bonus, it's not too bad for this one, 60,000 credits and 6.9 miles added on to that driving marathon. Next up, we have the brand new special event. This is brand new to GT7. This is the Plymouth Superbird 1 make, which is very much in the sort of retro stock car racing vibe. So I really did enjoy this one. Limited time, so it will only be here for this week. Having a quick search through, as you can see, it's limited to the Plymouth Superbird 70. In terms of the overall rewards, it's 60,000, 36,000 and 24,000 for first, second, third. The typical AI all running very much stock car liveries. BOP and tuning is off. And in terms of the Plymouth Superbird itself, it has now appeared in the Haggerty collection or the legendary car dealership. So it is on offer, rather expensive at over 500,000 credits though. Now, I'm pretty sure that all the other Superbirds are actually running the standard engine. However, this car does feature an engine swap in the form of the Hellcat Charger engine, and that is the engine that I do have in mind. Now, I originally completely forgot when I went back to actually do the event that this was on the road course itself, so I had the car very much tuned for oval racing, which is what I assumed it was going to be. Went back and then kind of got a bit of a shock when I realised, oh yeah, it's the road course, not the actual oval. So yeah, I had a bit of a oval tune for a road course, which wasn't too great and made the car very difficult to handle. However, on the big bank turn-ins, this car had insane top speed compared to the rest of the Superbirds, so it did make the overtaking on those sectors very easy. But then I did have to kind of hold back as much as possible when it came to the slower sections, where the more standard Superbirds did have a much better advantage through there. So we did end up taking the lead for the first time on the end of lap 1 as we was about to complete the lap. However, going on to lap 2, we had a bit of an off. I just put the throttle down. We are on sports softs. That's going to spin the car into the barrier, and we are going to end up actually losing the clean race bonus here. Now, I didn't want to absolutely wipe out the rest of the AI, so I pretty much let them all through and had to do all that work once again. So it is 3 laps, and overall these cars do take a little bit longer than the likes of the GT3s and such to get this track completed. So I had plenty of time on offer. I knew exactly where I could make up my time, considering I had much better overall top end than the rest of the Superbirds, so that's exactly what we did. So I took the lead once again on the final lap, and that was it, job done. Overall, this is a very cool special event to see, making use of some of those classic cars in game. I really did enjoy this one, so do you know what, props to Polyphony for getting this one in game. It's definitely something a bit more different, and hopefully we continue to see these special events really kind of shaken up each and every week. In terms of the payout, because I didn't get the clean race bonus, I only took away 60,000 credits, but if you were to get that 50% bonus, you're looking at 90k for this one, as well as the second reward of the week, which is 200,000 credits on top of the, you know, typical payout of the event itself. So not too bad overall. Next up, we have Race of the Turbo Sports Cars, perhaps one of my favourite events in game in terms of the on-track vehicles. This is going to be at Suzuka Circuit, which is my favourite track in game, so I was massively down for this one. It's a bit of a weird one, considering it is basically a sprint race, so Race of the Turbo Sports Cars always features 5-lap races. You don't have to worry about fuel or tyre wear. However, with this being at Suzuka, it does actually have the chance to rain, which it did actually do here. However, I'm using my 700 pp built Evo 3, which is just absolutely ridiculous ridiculous for the 700 pp limit we're given here, and it did make the event very, very easy, even in the wet conditions. I don't think any of the AI pitted in either. I think they are typically on the sports compound of tyres, and although we was on racing compounds, it didn't make much of a difference even when the sort of downpour did come along. Towards the end of lap 2, I did manage to take the lead here from the Type R Civic that was way ahead of the rest of the pack. Again, a fairly spread out field, especially towards the front. Then on lap 4, I did start monitoring the weather radar as I noticed a lot of cloud coming over the track, and as you can see, it did look like a lot of heavy rain was coming. Now it did come and turn the conditions to intermediate, however I did notice that a lot of the rain did dissipate and kind of disappear. So overall a fairly easy win there in the Evo 3, and that is going to be tick number 4 for the week. In terms of the payout for this one, again, it's not too bad, however it is not absolutely amazing either. So I didn't get the clean race bonus, so I only took away 70,000 credits. A bit of an off on one of my overtakes for P2 early on did kind of get rid of that. However, it did give us enough to get a 4-star roulette ticket for our daily marathon. So up last we have my favourite, I guess, bunch of events in the game, which is the Neo Classic competition for cars before 1999, basically tuned to a 800 pp limit. So it's a special version for classic cars at 800 pp. I really enjoy this one. Now in terms of the grid, it is massively mixed up. You'll have some Group B in there, some Group 4, Group 3, Group 2, as well as the front runners typically being Group 1, Group C machinery. So there is plenty to see as we go through. Now I use the 787B, and all I did was use fuel mix 1 on the straight, fuel mix 6 everywhere else, just to kind of maintain the fuel consumption. Now this is Fuji, and Polyphony have a bit of an obsession with the Japanese tracks and wet weather, so just continue to monitor the weather. You'll typically know it's coming in when it starts going very dull and very grey. So with the rain coming in, I did an early pit stop while the rest of the AI did actually stay out, as the track was only starting to get wet, as the majority of them came past the sort of pit wall there. So we jumped it early, we jumped in, we got a set of intermediates on, although it did kind of go towards heavy rain at times. We got the car fully fueled up so that we could run fuel mix 1 as the track began to dry out, as the rain wasn't staying around really that much. After that, it was time to take advantage of the early pit stop, although that put us down in around about P8 and gave us a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit line on entrance. We did manage to make our way through. As you can see, the AI just getting completely caught out here, as we see the McLaren F1 just completely spinning itself around. The rest of the AI did eventually get into the pit on the next lap, but at that point in time they'd lost a ton of time to myself, so it was very easy and all about just kind of maintaining traction, getting ourselves around and waiting for the track to begin to dry out. Now there is a chance you will get a secondary downpour. As you can see, it's got a little bit wetter on track once again, as we did start getting a bit more rain coming between lap 8 and lap 9. However, it did then just pass. So overall, just keep your eye on your weather radar, use something with good fuel consumption, and you should make this one nice and easy. Now I didn't get the clean race bonus, a bit of contact early on one of my overtakes did kind of get rid of that completely. 168k standard prize and 500,000 credit ticket reward. So let's have a look at the overall rewards that we've collected on this weekly bunch of challenges. So we have our daily ticket, which is going to be a 4-star, and it's going to give us a reward for a car that I don't really use too much, which is the BMW M2 competition from 2018. It gave us the Highland Camshaft S for that one, and then it was all purely credit tickets. So I'm just going to go ahead and just add those to my account now. So we've got 100k, 200k, and then finally 500,000 credits, and that is going to be all the rewards for this week. So there we go, that's the weekly challenges. Definitely a bit different this time around. Really did enjoy the Plymouth one. Some fairly decent event picks as well. Big thank you to all of my channel members who are listed on the screen now. Massive thank you for your support, and thank you to you guys watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.